It's a Thursday morning. It's getting ready to storm. We could get an inch or more of rain. Look who's back. It's Larry. Look at the floor. Yeah, because about 9:30 last night, and you can probably see the puddle of oil down under there. We had to quit doing beans, which really sucked because there was no dew, a breeze. Beautiful night. Could have probably ran till midnight. But we're fixing a hose. Yes, it's hard for you to see. It came loose. It's an O-ring fitting, which is junk to start with. Well, I won't say junk because most manufacturers do use them, but as Larry will tell you, you like the other ones better, don't you?
Yeah.
The JIC fittings.
JIC were much better.
So that O-ring was all scarred up, whether it was because it came loose, whether it was just shit from when they put it together, who knows. Thankfully it's that and not some pump somewheres that's gone to shit, but we have other issues for Larry to look at while he's here too. A couple of grease fittings that, you know, are supposed to be 50-hour grease fittings, but you can't get at them. I don't know, they say anything to you about the one thing that keeps coming up saying my pre-sieve won't stay in command position?
Yeah, you said something about last night.
Keeps closing itself down to a 1/16 of an inch. Electronics. Beautiful shit electronics are. I know it's dark back here, but Larry is trying to get a couple grease fittings out that you cannot get on. For whatever reason, somebody put some sort of funky ass extension on this one. It comes right out and hits that metal piece. Quality control when it left the factory lacked a little. Because it is, first I thought it was me, and I'm like, is there a secret to this? I actually took pictures of it and sent it to the guys that were here yesterday, or day before yesterday, when we did the whole feeder house thing, and said, is there a secret to how you grease this? No, there's no secret. The secret is somebody putting the grease fitting on properly, right, Larry?
Yeah.
That would help. So it's funny, New Holland sent me twice 2 emails, but it was before I even had the combine wanting, you know, survey, and I deleted them. I wish I hadn't, because I'd really like to fill that survey out now, and they haven't sent me one since. But we did get 70 acres of beans done yesterday. We could have got more because, like I said, there was no dew. The wind was whipping like this. It was still 60-some degrees at 9:30 when this started happening, and you know, like Larry just said, it stopped dumping oil when I pulled it in there because it's some hydraulic line to the fan. So when you were moving, when the fan was running, it was spitting oil out. All because of a, I don't know, 30-cent O-ring, well, what should be a 30-cent O-ring. Probably they charged $3 for it. That somebody put the line together and fucked up the O-ring in plain English, and then just sent it on its way. And after, I don't know what I've got on the machine now, 65 hours, somewhere between 50 and 65 hours, shit starts going wrong. Yeah, now it's just starting to sprinkle, as you can see by the truck. We are in the possible somewhere between 1 and 2 inch range today, which we don't need. All right, we backed this truck in because it was a lot easier to get the 5-gallon pails of hydraulic oil up there because the reservoir tank is up there. So we put the tailgate down and I lifted them over for him. So we got that fixed. We got that grease fitting that was just completely installed stupidly from the factory that you couldn't get on it. Fought with that for, God, 20 minutes to get that off. Just making sure we didn't leave anything anywhere. He's in the cab now with his computer, trying to figure out some codes. Electronics. So, we're getting there. Alright, he's gone. We did some recalibrations on the computer to figure out why my pre-sieve kept telling me won't stay in commanded position, which was, I think, it was set at somewhere around 1/2 inch, and it would kick it down to 1/16 of an inch, basically almost closed. So that hydraulic reservoir, he said, holds 13 gallons. We put in like 9, so yeah, good thing I was working out back and got back here. And like I said, that was just a stupid O-ring fitting that some moron cranked down and tore the O-ring up, so it was only a matter of time before that was going to start leaking. So I've shut the sides all up, but that grease fitting in there on that one that I showed you, that's fixed now, so we can actually get grease on it, because some moron at the factory put, I mean, shit happens. It's just too much shit happens to stuff that I buy. All right, so overall, so far, we've done, I don't know, just shy of like 98 acres, just call it 100 acres of beans, and about 75 acres of corn so far. And we're waiting for the monsoon that's almost here, which God knows how long that's going to shut us down for. But overall, my opinion so far, I mean, the grain sample that this thing makes is way better than what I could make with my S series. Okay, and this is coming from a John Deere guy for years, so I love that. The tracks, obviously, I like better than the tracks I had on mine, but those were not a great design. I mean, like I said, overall, get rid of the bullshit that we've gone through, and I really like the machine. I like the ease of setting things. I like the overall machine. Just so far, too much bullshit. I mean, you know, that whole feeder house plate thing, which you have already seen in a previous video, just something stupid, made wrong. I don't know what it was cut in, a jig, whatever. Somebody, you know, didn't do it right, but it was basically 1/2 inch too long. So, but other than that, I like the machine. I like the way it runs. We've got everything calibrated. You know, this whole, and it's dark, so you're not going to see that great, but that whole sieve system back there that rocks from side to side on our side hills, that's awesome. My Deere had dividers in it. It didn't have the floating sieve. The dividers worked pretty good. So, but all in all, like I said, I really like the machine. I like the job it does. I mean, I've sold my first 2 loads of corn out of the bin, and normally when you're coring out a bin, I mean, it's just kind of nasty shit. Those were such nice, clean loads that came out. But let's just hope we're done with the gremlins. I mean, oh, and a guy on Instagram made a comment that New Holland is just a poor man's Case. New Holland stood on their own for years. Just because a company buys another company out, I mean, did you know that the track systems, New Holland bought ATI. New Holland owns that. So I think the only ones they're putting the tracks on, the big quads right now for New Holland, are the T9s, he said. But so that's New Holland design right there. So, but that's, companies buy each other out, and then it's no different than my chisel plow, the issues we were having, which by the way is at the dealership, because Kuhn decided that they were smarter than what Kraus was, and they changed that design that I showed you in previous videos of how those shanks set on there. Well, Kuhn's design sucked, so they're putting Kraus's design back on mine to make it right. So that's the only problem. Companies buy each other out, and then they get the genius idea of changing something. But so yes, CNH, Case New Holland. Case bought out New Holland. But it's not like New Holland hasn't, you know, stood on their own for years. Go out and look at how many small square balers are out there for the last, I don't know, 5 decades. You think you'll find more New Holland 575s and stuff like that than you will Case small square balers? I'll guarantee you will. So, but call it a poor man's Case if you want. I don't care. Whatever. Let's see what else we put on this video. Oh, here comes the wind and the rain. Yay. I hope they're wrong and we don't get between 1 and 2 inches. And 40-mile-an-hour winds like they're talking. Just another day in my world. Looks like the motor on top of the wet bin is toast. Oh, I'm telling you. If it ain't one thing, it's another. But, so yes. They're back again. I don't know what job he was on before he got here, but it's even called nifty. Some little hydraulic lift. But yes, I told him, make sure you bring motors with you. Just in case, because I kind of had a feeling. I went up, pushed the reset. I did everything that I knew of to make it run. And when you put a multimeter on it, it's supposed to be running when you do it down here. And where am I pointing? The box. And the auger inside. Whoa, the auger inside the dryer runs. I've had enough of this season already. So it's the next day after the storm. I'm putting fuel in my truck. As you can see, we have puddles. While that's filling, because the combine's sitting in the shop, so I'm just gonna back in and fill it right out of the truck. Let's go see how much rain we got. We didn't get near the rain they claimed we could have. They were talking between 1 and 2 inches. I don't think we got a half, which I'm good with. Well, it looks like we got just about exactly a half, so I'm good with that. Okay, something else to talk about. Dumbass Amazon drivers. All right, as you can see, my mother's house. As you can't really see, my house on the other side of the shed there. And the dairy barn, which we sold the cows 2011, so 11 years ago. The other night, right next to the ramp there that I put up to get the pressure washer out, there was an Amazon box. This morning, because I come over to feed a barn cat, there's an Amazon box sitting on that. Am I pointing to the right thing? The front step to the old milk house. I mean, maybe we should be thankful that, you know, the person actually has a job, but they're dumber than a stump. I mean, 2 houses with agriculture buildings between them, basically, and you deliver it there. Yeah, it was soaking wet this morning when I just took it over to my wife. I mean, how stupid can stupid be? Dumbasses. All right, so I just pulled that out because I put fuel in it. And some of you are probably wondering, what in the hell is he doing with the tractor? All right, quick explanation, and then I'm gonna end this video. Not much action in this one, but I got 5 2.5 gallon DEF jugs sitting in that bucket, so I can just reach over the rail, grab them, and fill them. All right, so before I finish that story, this is done now. Everything is done. This is the day after Larry was here fixing everything. Why is there a light on underneath the combine? Did I hit something by accident? And it's not turning off. Now it is. Okay. Apparently I hit one of them buttons when I was climbing up there to put fuel in. Anyways, this is done. It's grease. If I repeat myself, I'm sorry. It's that time of year. Those effed up grease fittings are done. I just put fuel in it. Now I'm gonna put the DEF in it. So I get the 2.5 gallon jugs of DEF. Let's climb up. Shall we? Ugh. All right, so I called the local John Deere dealer that I work with, and I just want to make sure that there's no other lights on around here. Nope. The difference in price between these and these are the Case New Holland ones. And no, I don't need my sunglasses, but they're on, so I'm in the building. The difference in price between these and buying a 55-gallon tote of this, or jug, 55-gallon jug of it, or barrel of it, I guess that's how it comes, I don't know, it's like 80 cents a gallon. So it's less than 50 bucks to buy a 55-gallon drum of it. But you're gonna need some kind of pump. So I asked him, price me an electric pump. Well, you can't see it now. A 110 volt pump like what's in my tank in the back of my truck that we fill things in the field. And he said $1,000. Oh, granted, that's the dealer, so I'm sure if I went to Tractor Supply or someplace like that, if you figure 20% markup, then I could probably buy one for 800 bucks. But that's still very expensive. So here's where I fill the DEF. And these are gonna be easy to reach. And I'm cheap, okay? I know, some of you haters that are gonna watch, you're not cheap, look at all the equipment you buy. Whatever, piss off. Because there's a lot of older equipment around this farm that you just think is new because I keep it clean and I take care of it. I don't know how well I can zoom in, but well, the sun's shining too. Like them two tractors across the road that are, what are they now? One's 13 years old, the other one's 11, I think, something like that. Yeah, well, I take care of my shit. But anyways, I don't need to explain myself to you. It's kind of like the bin extensions and the bubble up auger. No, I don't have the automation. I didn't spend the thousands of dollars for that. I have nothing against the people that do, but I'll climb up here, I'll put them down to pull it in my shop. I'll climb up here to put it down to have to travel, the 6 miles I go that way or the 5 miles I go that way. When I'm just running right around here, I don't care. I'll go a little slower. But so anyways, I'm gonna put my DEF in now. I'm gonna end this video, and hopefully today dries the beans up enough that tomorrow we can get back on them, because it's supposed to be good today, good tomorrow, good Sunday, and then back to rain the first of the week. So we'll see what we get done for beans this weekend. So all right, see ya. All right, just adding one more thing on. Got my lunch. It's about 1 o'clock. The grass in the yard was way too wet. I went and checked some beans. They were way too squishy. Generally takes a day after you get the rain. So I'm finishing chopping this field because the main county snowmobile trail comes through here. I don't know if I'll do that one. I don't know if I'll do any more other than where the main county trail goes through. So, but gotta do something, so I'm gonna get this done. I used to chop all of them, but the price of fuel and these stalks will break down even without chopping them. But I also want to throw a big thank you out there to, and I know Bob, you don't like me always doing this, but Bob Bates, he just sent us another care package of some wonderful boar's head meats and cheeses and stuff like that. We appreciate you, brother. So it's always good when you see a package show up and it's got Bob Bates' name on it. So thank you, Bob. And I'm going to keep chopping these stalks, and now we'll see you in the next one.